Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 8, text 13. Om iti ekaksharam brahma vyaharan mam anusmaran yah prayati tyajandeham sayati paramam gatim. So Krishna here mentions at the time of death, when one chants Omkara, Om iti ekaksharam, that ekaksharam is Omkara, the Brahma means the supreme absolute truth, Vyaharan, one who chants, and at the same time, Mam Anusmaran, one who remembers me, thinks of me. So, Om iti ekaksharam Brahma Vyaharan Mam Anusmaran. One chants Omkara and remembers me. Yah prayati, one who leaves the body, Tyajan Deham. Saha Yati Paramam Gatim. He attains the transcendental destination. He will certainly reach the spiritual planets. So that means Om, Brahman, and Lord Krishna are not different. Prabhupada mentions the impersonal sound of Krishna is Om, but the sound Hare Krishna contains Om. So you see here, one who is practicing this chapter especially is about the preparatory stage of perfection, which is the Ashtanga Yoga for those in the previous ages who want to prepare themselves for ultimate perfection. Ultimate perfection is bhakti. So the Ashtanga Yoga process by which one gets prepared to chant the Omkara. And ultimately, when you chant the Omkara, you have to remember Krishna. Because Omkara is not different from Krishna. It is the impersonal sound of Krishna. And Hare Krishna contains Om. What does it mean by that? Hare Krishna contains Om. It means that whatever is the purpose achieved by Omkara and remembering Krishna is also achieved by chanting Hare Krishna. Further, there are several other differences. Those who are envious of Krishna, those who are not appreciative of the form of God, they don't want to call God by name, they think that God is impersonal. They are called impersonalists, Mayavadis. They are envious of chanting the name of God. They cannot understand how some person can become the supreme, absolute truth. Therefore, they think it has to be impersonal. And Krishna accommodates them. And Krishna gives them the opportunity to chant Om without denoting any personality. That is the idea. Avyakta Sakta Chetasam, Krishna says in 12th chapter, when Arjuna asked the question, Krishna, there are two categories of people. One is trying to elevate spiritually by impersonal worship, and the other kind is trying to elevate themselves with personal worship. So Arjuna asks those two questions. Oh Krishna, there are two kinds of people. Who are the best? Tesham ke yoga vittamaha. And for that, Krishna immediately answers, Mai asakta manaha partha. Or Sri Bhagavan Vacha, My aveshya manoyemam nityayukta upasate. One who worships me in my personal form, they are the best. But still, there are people who cannot come to that platform, who, who adamantly think that God must be impersonal. And so Krishna accommodates them. Okay, for you, you worship through impersonal Brahman. And how? You chant Omkara. Vedic literature contains Omkara. Pranavaha sarva vedeshu. But Krishna says, I am the Omkara. Shabda khe paurusham rushu. Pitaham asya jagato mata dhata pitamaha. Vedyam pavitram Omkara ruksama yajurevacha. I am the Omkara. I am the Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajurveda, Adharva Veda, everything I am. But the impersonalists, they don't want to accept this. Krishna clearly states, Vedaischa sarvair ahameva vedyam. Of all the Vedas, I am to be known. You're all chanting Omkara by the Vedic literature, but the purpose is to know me, the person, Krishna. This is the point. But those who remain envious of Krishna, okay, you don't have to chant the name. Consider Krishna as impersonal or God as impersonal, you chant Omkara. So at the time of death, if they continue to chant Omkara by practice of Ashtanga Yoga, bringing the life air, Murdhni Adhaya Atmanaha Pranam, they'll go to impersonal Brahman, the Brahmajyoti of Krishna, without any activity there. They remain, but eventually fall down for want of activity. Aruhya Kruchrena Parampadam Tataha Patanti Adho Anadruta Yushmadangraya, because they have not got shelter at Angraya of Krishna. So this is the danger. You may go to impersonal Brahman, get merged into that effulgence. Yes, you are liberated from this world, but you remain there without any activity, but again you fall down. But Hare Krishna, when you chant at the time of death, because you have appreciated that God is a person and he has a name, and you took to the name, and the holy name of the Lord is non different, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. Namna makari bahudha nija sarva shaktis tatrarpita niyamita smaranena kala etadrishi tava kripa bhagavan mamapi durdaivam janina anuragaha. There are innumerable names of the Lord according to his qualities, and each of them are as powerful as himself. Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto Abhinnatvan Namanamino. It is not different from Krishna. It is complete form of Krishna. It is more merciful form of Krishna, the holy name. That when you chant, even unintentionally, it will deliver that person. So the holy name of Krishna is very powerful and it can get us to spiritual planets, not just impersonal Brahman. And that's what Prabhupada mentions here. If one quits his body at the end of this life, chanting the Maha Mantra Hare Krishna, he will reach the spiritual planets. Similarly, those who are devotees of Krishna enter the Krishna planet or Goloka Vrindavana, whereas the impersonalists remain in the Brahma Jyoti. See, this is the difference. If you want to stick to chanting Omkara, you will be liberated. But if you don't understand that Omkara is Krishna, then you will remain in the impersonal Brahman. Whereas chanting Hare Krishna, yes, you will be liberated and you will also go to the spiritual planet, Goloka Vrindavan. Or if you are worshipping other expansion of Krishna, you will go to that Vaikuntha planet. And you will never have to come back. Yadgatvana nivartante taddhama paramam mama. Krishna gives that assurance. Once you go back to Godhead, there is no coming back. But if you understand that Omkara is Krishna, the real Ashtanga Yogi, the purpose is, as mentioned in this verse, in those ages, they would chant Omkara and think of Krishna. They understand that it is the sound form of Krishna. Krishna is the ultimate absolute truth. And then they can go back to Godhead, Goloka Vrindavan. Because Omkara is not different from Krishna. In fact, in Satya Yuga, the only mantra was Omkara. And there was only one Vedic literature, Atharva Veda, or some say Yajur Veda. Later in Kali Yuga, it was divided into four and it is written in a written format so that people can refer to it, recite, and remember. Because in earlier yugas, there was no written format. Whatever was told by the spiritual master was remembered in the mind and they would never forget. That was the quality of remembrance. Just imagine. Now, everything we have to take notes and we have to refer to it, and that also we cannot remember. Prabhupada, one time he quoted this incident. The power of Brahmanas, even in this age, like during the British time, like for example, around 100 years ago. So there was this Brahmana who complained to the court that this Britisher was insulting him. And so the court called him for witness. And the Britisher also came and he said, "No, I never insulted him." And then asked him to prove that I insulted. What did I say? Because the Britisher was confident that he, the Brahmana, would not be able to understand English. And so he wouldn't be able to tell anything. But he was shocked. This Brahmana verbatim repeated everything that he told. All those, that 1 minute content of everything that he told, it was put in his memory. Everything was there. Verbatim he repeated, even though he didn't understand. And the court decided that, it was indeed an abusive thing. So even 100 years ago, Prabhupada, to illustrate the memory power of a qualified Brahmana, just imagine what would be the memory power in the previous ages. But in the beginning of Kali Yuga, understanding that people would become degraded, Vyasadeva has written in the written format, the Vedas. The original Veda was divided into four: Ruk, Sama, Yajur, and Atharva, for the benefit of human society. And in Satya Yuga, the only mantra was Omkara, Om Tat Sat. And in this age, because in Kali Yuga, in Satya Yuga, everybody was a qualified Brahmana. Because these other difference one should know, apart from whatever I told, the Omkara should be properly chanted by qualified persons. Unless one is a qualified Brahmana, Shamo Damaha Tapaha Shaucham Kshanti Rajyavam Gnanam Vignanam Astikyam. These are the qualities of a Brahmana. To control the senses, to control the mind, austerity, cleanliness, uh, simplicity, tolerance, Vedic knowledge, worship of the Lord. All these qualities of a Brahmana, without possessing and practicing, one cannot chant, utter Omkara and get the desired result. It is like, for example, you are given a formula. You have to know exactly how the formula is executed in the lab. Anybody goes and mixes, there has to be some conditions, proper utensils, proper paraphernalia, proper conducive agent has to be there. So, like that, there has to be practice and qualification. Anybody who chants does not get the same desired result. Because in Kali Yuga, Janmana Jayate Sudra. In every yuga, Janmana Jayate Sudra, but Samskarat Bhave Dvija. By Samskara, one becomes a Dvija. The Samskara is not happening in Kali Yuga. So, in Kali Yuga, because everybody is a Sudra, the Shastras have recommended the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Harer Nama, Harer Namaiva Kevalam Kalau Nastieva, Nastieva, Nastieva Gatiranyatha. There is no other way, no other way, no other way but to chant the holy name of Krishna, particularly this Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So unless one becomes a Brahmana, one cannot chant Omkara and get the benefit. But anybody can chant Hare Krishna and get the benefit. That is another difference. And the third difference is that the typical purpose of pronouncing Omkara is to address the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like it is usually prefixed with a mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, for example. Om Tad Vishnoh Paramam Padam. Om Sri Krishnaya Namaha. Om Sri Ramaya Namaha, like that. So Om means it is a great personality. And who is that personality? We chant the name of the personality. So Om is always prefixed, or the purpose of Om is to address the person. You cannot chant, if you, the impersonalists, they want to remove the person and only chant Om. That's why they only get impersonal liberation. But the purpose is to completely chant. Like Narada Muni gave the mantra to Dhruva Maharaj. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We chant that also before the lectures. That is the right way of chanting Omkara. And the purpose of Hare Krishna also is same, to address the Supreme Lord and the internal potency of the Lord. Hare means what? O energy of Krishna. O energy of the Lord. Krishna means O Lord Krishna. Again, Hare Rama, O energy of the Lord. Rama also actually is Krishna, because one who gives the supreme pleasure. Ramante Yogino Anante. Or it can also refer to Ramachandra, in which case Hare refers to Sita. So that means we are addressing the Lord and His internal potency. So Hare Krishna mantra includes Omkara both by meaning and its purpose and the result that it gives. But if you chant Omkara without understanding the proper philosophy, proper tattva, that Omkara is not different from Krishna, then you will not get the desired result. The Hare Krishna mantra in Kali Yuga is delivering everyone from the lowest to the highest. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is one pastime where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he starts to Vrindavan. The first time he attempts to go to Vrindavan. And on the Vijayadashami day, he starts. And he has to pass through several states in order to reach Vrindavan. So he eventually comes to the border of Orissa. And there is a government officer called Mahapatra. He is the servant of the Lord, and he informs Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that the territory ahead was ruled by a Mohammedan governor, because most of the India at that time was being ruled by Mohammedans. But they could not enter Orissa because Jagannath was protecting, and his great devotee Maharaj Prataparudra was the king of Orissa. and because of his power, they could not enter. So this after that Orissa territory was the Mohammedan territory. There was a Mohammedan governor, and who is a drunkard, and people fear him, and he arranges, these people to loot people who are traveling and all that. So this Mahapatra, he said, my dear Lord, you remain at this border for few days. I will arrange a peaceful arrangement with that Mohammedan governor. So the Lord remains there. But there are so many people coming to visit the Lord, hundreds and thousands of people. So there is a spy of this Mohammedan governor. He comes there in disguise, acting as one of the devotees. But he is a spy of that governor, Mohammedan governor. And then he comes and sees Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and sees his activities and goes back to that governor and informs him, oh, a sannyasi has come from Jagannath Puri, and he is so effulgent, so influential, so powerful. And there were many liberated persons there, and many people are assembling there, and all of them are chanting Hare Krishna incessantly. And not only that, when they are chanting, they are laughing, they are crying, they are dancing, they are forgetting everything of this world. They are in such an ecstatic state. And millions of people are coming to see this sannyasi, and they cannot return home. And they become mad while chanting, and they cry and roll on the ground. And then he says, seeing all of this, I can only conclude that this sannyasi is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. And not only that, this spy, he also begins to chant the names of Hare Krishna mantra, and he also begins to cry, laugh, and dance like a madman. And then this Mohammedan governor, he has never seen anything like that. And that is the influence of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the holy name. And so this Mohammedan governor's mind becomes influenced. And then he sends his personal secretary to meet this Mahapatra to arrange for a meeting with the Mohammedan governor. And now secretary comes, when he comes to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he pays respects, and he also becomes overwhelmed with ecstatic love and begins to chant Hare Krishna. And then he calms himself from that ecstasy, and then he realizes now he has a message to convey, and he informs that Mahapatra that the Mohammedan governor wants to come and meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then they all become a little anxious, nervous. Oh, why he wants to come? Because he's not known to be good person. And then this secretary assures them, oh, please be rest assured that he's not coming to fight. This is a peace proposal. And and then this Mahapatra, he thinks this governor is a drunkard and bad character, not known for his good deeds. And see the influence of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Just by hearing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and hearing the holy name, it softened the mind of this most corrupted person. See how just by remembering Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the whole world can become liberated. So, this is an example where any person can become liberated just by remembering Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and following in the footsteps of chanting the holy names, Hare Krishna mantra. It doesn't matter in this age who it is. He doesn't have to be a proper Brahmana. The mercy is given to Apamaram yo vitatara gaura Krishno janebhyas tamaham prapadhye. Mercy has been given to Apamaram means down to the downtrodden. The Hare Krishna mantra actually is relished by the most liberated personalities. Nivrittatarshairupagiyamanat. But by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this age, he has broke open that storehouse of treasure of Hare Krishna, and he has given to anybody and everybody, whether they are qualified or not. So this Mohammedan governor comes, and this Mahapatra, he appreciates the governor for his gesture. And this Muhammad governor also, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu requests the governor also to chant the holy names. And the governor starts to chant, and he begs the Lord to give him some service and grant him liberation, because he admits that because of his sinful activities, he is struggling in this material world. Particularly, he is born in that particular background. He committed various sins and offenses to Brahmanas, Vaishnavas, and the cows. And then the Lord, he requests him to make arrangements for travel. And then the governor sends him a nice boat, and the Mahapatra accompanies the Lord to the boat. The Lord gets into the boat. The governor himself comes, and he says, "Oh, there are many pirates here." And he sends 10 boat full of people, soldiers, and escorts Chaitanya Mahaprabhu until he reaches the destination. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gets down, and the governor bids farewell. And then the Lord goes to the next destination, which is Panihati. And the Lord gives the captain of the boat his personal garments and bids him farewell. So, in this way, you can see how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu delivered everyone, and the holy name delivers everyone. And we have to relish, we have to cherish, we have to respect the holy name, because it is Krishna himself. When we chant, Krishna is personally coming, and we have to pay complete attention to Krishna, and thereby one gets purified. And if one sincerely does that chanting, at the end of life, Krishna will force us to remember him, even if we are not able to. He will create situation in such a way that we'll be surrounded by the chanting. We'll somehow remember Krishna and thereby go back to Godhead. I'll stop here. Anyone has any questions or comments? Bhagavad Gita